It began as a normal day in the bustling city of Chicago in the fall of 1982. People went about their routines, unaware that something as innocent as a bottle of Tylenol would soon spark terror across the city. Within days, seemingly healthy individuals were dropping dead after taking what they thought was simple pain relief. What followed was a nightmare, an unsolved mystery that would forever change how we buy and trust over-the-counter medication. But who was behind it and why? This is the haunting story of the Chicago Tylenol murders. By the early 1980s, Tylenol was a household name, trusted by millions for its effectiveness and reliability. Manufactured by Johnson & Johnson, Tylenol controlled over 35% of the over-the-counter pain relief market. Its red and white capsules were easy to swallow and highly popular among consumers. However, the packaging at the time was far less secure than what we're accustomed to today. Tamper-proof seals and safety features were minimal, leaving products vulnerable to interference, a vulnerability that would soon have deadly consequences. On September 29, 1982, the nightmare began. 7 a.m. Mary Kellerman, a 12-year-old girl from Elk Grove Village, complained of a sore throat. Her parents gave her an extra-strength Tylenol capsule, and within minutes, she collapsed. By 9:30 a.m., Mary was pronounced dead. Later that morning, Adam Janus, a 27-year-old postal worker, took Tylenol for what he thought was minor chest pain. Within hours, he was also dead. Tragically, his brother Stanley and sister-in-law Teresa later died after consuming Tylenol from the same bottle while mourning Adam's death. Panic began to ripple through the Chicago area as more deaths followed. Paula Prince, a flight attendant, was found dead in her apartment. Mary Reiner, a new mother, died after taking Tylenol to recover from childbirth. Loretta Capel, a 27-year-old woman, succumbed shortly after taking the medication. Each victim's sudden death was baffling until a horrifying connection emerged. The cause of death was soon traced to cyanide poisoning. Lab tests revealed that the victims' Tylenol capsules had been laced with lethal doses of the chemical, enough to kill thousands of people. Authorities acted quickly to pull Tylenol from store shelves across the Chicago area, but the damage was already done. In total, 7 people had died. Investigators were left with a chilling question. Who was responsible? The FBI, local police, and Johnson & Johnson launched one of the largest manhunts in U.S. history. They examined every step of the production process, ruling out contamination at the manufacturing level. This led to a terrifying realization. The tampering had occurred after the product reached stores. The killer, it seemed, had purchased bottles of Tylenol, laced them with cyanide, and returned them to shelves to target random victims. The Chicago Tylenol murders forever changed the consumer product industry. Johnson & Johnson faced a public relations disaster, but made bold moves to regain trust. They immediately issued a nationwide recall of over 31 million bottles of Tylenol, costing the company over $100 million. In an unprecedented move, Johnson & Johnson also developed tamper-proof packaging, introducing safety seals, foil layers, and child-resistant caps. These measures became the new standard across the pharmaceutical and food industries. Despite these changes, the case left lingering questions. Authorities investigated countless leads, but no one was ever convicted. Some suspects stood out. James William Lewis. Lewis sent a letter to Johnson & Johnson demanding $1 million to stop the poisonings. Though he was convicted of extortion, there was no evidence tying him directly to the murders. Copycats. In the years following the incident, there were multiple tampering scares across the country, but none matched the scale or sophistication of the Chicago case. The killer's motives remain a mystery to this day. Was it a calculated act of terrorism, a deranged mind seeking infamy, or something else entirely? The Chicago Tylenol murders shocked the nation and instilled a new level of caution in consumers. It marked the beginning of the tamper-proof era in packaging, a feature we often take for granted today. But beyond the safety measures, the case serves as a haunting reminder of how fragile trust can be and how a single act of malice can ripple through society. As of today, the Tylenol murders remain unsolved, their perpetrator still shrouded in mystery. What do you think happened in Chicago in 1982? Was the killer someone close to the victims, or was it a random act of terror? Share your theories in the comments below. If you'd like more stories like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out our channel for more episodes of Forgotten Crimes.